Alright everybody, and welcome to another video with me, Craig Bryant, and welcome to Heysham Port. Well, I come to some beautiful places, don't I? This is not one of the best, I'm not gonna lie, but I am absolutely buzzing, guys, because it is a Merry Christmas to me. Instead of asking for an actual present, I asked beautiful wife Rachel, could I just have a ferry trip and then like a Travelodge in a Premier Inn for my Christmas present. So I am here on, honestly, one of the best February days I've ever had. The drive here over the A66 over the Pennines was just unbelievable. You can see for miles. Is just a lovely crisp winter's day that is actually now getting pretty warm, I'm not gonna lie. And we are here to get the Isle of Man steam packet over to the Isle of Man, obviously, to Douglas, the capital, and back again. Originally, my plan was to be on the MV Manxman. The new ferry came out about a year and a half ago, I think it is, from now in 2025. But actually, my ferry's been changed to the old ferry, the Ben My Cree, or Girl of My Heart, as it is in Manx, I think. I'm probably saying it all wrong anyway. So I'm going to do a bit of a comparison video. The old ferry, the Ben, Big Ben as some people like to call it, and the Manxman on the way back to tomorrow. Sadly, I was going to do a video over in the Isle of Man, but due to tides, they cancelled me evening ferry tomorrow. So instead I'm coming back on the early one, so I'm basically staying overnight in the Isle of Man and then coming back. So if that sounds all right to you, please come and join me. I'm going to go inside the terminal over there, have a little look at the nuclear power station, which is that behind me, and just chill. I've got literally an hour and a half now to kill. My first annoyance, though, is this car park machine here. I was expecting to pay £12 per day here, so it would have been like £24, which is ridiculous. Nobody has got a ticket at all. The ticket machine is broken, so I'm going to go inside and see what the crack is, but I'm hoping it's going to be free parking, which would be amazing. Well guys, I'm all checked in now, and just to say, first impressions, as I always say, do matter, and my first impressions are very good. I'd seen on some other videos that this place had been done up, the passenger lounge, and it's absolutely lovely. And it's even really lovely to see when another passenger, we were walking in the toilet, went, hey, this is fancy. That is exactly what you want. So well done, Isle of Man steam packet, for investing in this lounge. It's absolutely lovely. I mean, seriously, look at them sofas. That's better than my house, to be honest with you. This is lovely. You've got a nice little cafe thing over there, sort of selling teas and coffees and crisps and whatever. It's really nice sort of design, really nice decor. I don't know if it's real foliage, but you know, it's foliage. And the toilet, man, honestly, I love a good nice toilet. That reminds me of a spa rather than like an actual ferry terminal. Sorry for you viewers of this channel from Northern Ireland, when I say spa, I don't mean the shop, I mean like spa, like a wellness centre. So this is lovely. So the check-in thing was dead easy. I've got a QR code, scanned it, and then they said, asked about the car parking, when it's free parking. I was like, that is music to my ears. So I'm very happy for many reasons. So I'm gonna sit here, have a little chill, might get a coffee or something with the money that I've saved from the car park, and wait to get on board. Well, I've just come outside for a bit of fresh air and to see if I could see the ferry. That's the only downside, is there's no windows to look out at the ferry berthing. But there it is, the beautiful Ben My Cree, just come in from its 8 o'clock sailing from Douglas. We've got about half an hour till we get on board now, and it's actually filled up quite a bit. There seems to be a lot of foot passengers today, but also a lot of the people from the car lanes, which are just there, you can just see them behind that fence there, who've gone through security, are then coming in to use the lounge, which is really nice. And it doesn't still feel too full, too busy. There's kids running around, there's a little kids play area, but actually it's a really nice relaxing place. I can't wait to get on board now. I've also forgot to mention the obvious. There is a train station here. I'm stood on the platform, which, as you can see, is joined to the terminal, which is right next to the ferry. Absolutely love that. But I don't think the train, I've not seen a train coming at all, and I've not seen one. There weren't many people there, so I don't think the train times are built to join up. I don't know what that whistle is. Is that me having to go inside? Maybe. But yes, I don't think the timings work out, which is a little bit sad. There seems to be a train at 13:20, so that might be for some passengers who have got off that ferry, might be able to use it. This is a branch line. It goes into Morecambe, and then trains actually have to reverse out when they get to Morecambe and go to Lancaster. But then you can also get connections onto the West Coast Main Line, which is brilliant. I absolutely love stuff like this. I wish more ferry terminals had it, but what they do need, as they have here, it seems to be sort of well maintained. Obviously you've got a nice terminal there as well, but they do just need to have more frequent trains that always join up with the ferries. Lol, just been stopped by a member of staff asking what my videos are about as well. They thought I was a train enthusiast. I went, no, I'm a ferry enthusiast. So yes, I think all of the security staff were all watching us outside. It always happens. So yeah, a little bit embarrassing, but nah, I'm not embarrassed. I'm owning this. I love ferries. If you're watching Isle of Man Steam Packet people, I love ferries. I'm on the coach here, and they use coaches to board the ferry if you're a foot passenger. So just bear that in mind. There used to be, you could walk onto it, but the Manxman has damaged its traditional berth. So it takes quite a while to get on board, and you have to sit on an incredibly cramped coach, this one. We're on board. Come on. Just on board now, and we're in the cafe on deck 7 or something. I'm going to go out obviously on deck for departure, but first impressions, lovely, great. Guys, this is unbelievable. Such good outdoor deck space. I really wasn't sure what to expect. I like to come into these things sort of fresh, so I do only read, I read about these ferries anyway for fun, but I try not to look too deeply into, you know, how to get like deck space and things like that, just so I'm pleasantly surprised, or not pleasantly surprised usually, but I'm pleasantly surprised today. I am on the very top deck, which is such a rarity, man. I mean, literally, I am above the bridge. There's the bow of the ship there, and you've got this brilliant sort of windbreaker around the side. Lovely seating. There's other seating on the deck below, sort of 2 decks below actually. There's a sort of a mezzanine and then a proper deck below with seats looking out over the stern. Because of the design of this ferry though, you can't really get to the stern. The stern sort of juts out for another half the length of the ship, so even though you're at the back of the passenger accommodation, the car decks sort of reach out further backwards. I'll show you instead of explaining this, but my days, often you don't often get to say that you're on a sun deck on a sunny day. I am too warm. I'm just in a sort of a jacket here and I'm absolutely boiling, and it is the 5th of February today. It is absolutely gorgeous. I'll show you some of the views over there to the Southern Lake District, over at the Furness Peninsula, Barrow and Furness over there. So I'm just going to sit and enjoy this. I've sort of bogged you to see. I'm really not sure how many people's going to be on board, how full this ferry gets. There seem to be tons of cars, and I can see some of them still coming on now, so I don't want to take the mick a little bit, but I do want a seat in the cafe, because I'm going to go back in and have some lunch in a bit. But I'm going to enjoy departure just out here on such a beautiful, gorgeous day. There are the final car lanes making their way. This is what I'm on about. This is the very end of the passenger accommodation. You can see the funnel there in the middle, but you've got another good half length of the ship, which is just 2 large car decks. And there we are, looking out into Morecambe Bay. Absolutely gorgeous. Very dangerous sands though, those ones there. It has a huge tidal range. Please don't fact check me on this. I swear that's the second highest tidal change in the world after some place in Canada. I swear I read that when I was like a kid. If I've made that up, I'm sorry. And here's the rest of Heysham Port with its famous wind turbine on its northern end pier, and the nuclear power station on the other side. Because of that beautiful sun, all of this looks amazing, but I bet, I was going to say bet in midwinter, but it is midwinter, but I bet on a horrible day it is minging. Just a little bit about the Port of Heysham as well. I think that there is the regular berth, but I think so please fact check me. Like, I genuinely mean that, because I've read about this ages ago and I haven't revised it or whatever. But I think the Manxman might have done some damage to that, to the point where the Manxman can only use that one over where is it? There. So you've got 3 link spans in a row here. The reason why you need 3 is because Stena Line operate their Stena Hibernia and Stena Scotia to Belfast. That is the terminal opposite the Titanic Museum. If you're ever in Belfast at the Titanic Museum, bin off the museum, get yourself on the grass verge and watch the Stena Line, Stena Scotia Hibernia coming in. You get such a fantastic shot, and that skirts the top of the Isle of Man and then comes into Heysham here. You also have sea truck ferries, which are now owned by CLDN. CLDN run a service to Dublin, and they also run a service to Warrenpoint. Link in the description to my video at Warrenpoint with the Carlingford Lock ferry, where I see one of the sea trucks. I can't remember which one. It was the Pace or the Progress or the Power or whatever. They all start with P, and the Clipper Pennant and the Point and whatever. But yes, you've got 3 link spans because you get such good traffic volumes here, which is, I just think it's brilliant. Brilliant to see a port in such good use. We are today using the Central link span. I don't know if they've got names or whatever, but you can see all of this lorry freight parking here. A lot of unaccompanied freight these days. And also, interesting thing about the Ben My Crea, it only has a rear stern ramp. So even though this is a ro-ro ferry, or Ro-Pax because it's got passengers on board, it is not a drive-through ro-ro. Drive-through is where you've got a bow and a stern, so fully drive-throughs like that. So this has only got a stern and an internal ramp. You saw that when I was on the coach for the transfer for all the passengers. This is great. I'm enjoying telling you all these facts. I hope you're having a nice day. I'm having a whale of a time. We're here at the very stern of the ship, and you can actually see just down there, that is the internal ramp being raised after the top deck's been filled. They raised that up here, and we've got the funnel here. Actually, when this was built, this section that I'm stood on here was added in a refit. I think maybe a year later. I can't remember the exact timings of it, and that's why it looks a little bit strange. You've almost got the funnel into the passenger accommodation because they wanted to add a little bit more. I think they've added some cabins as well on that, so just, you know, things you know. Say cheese. See you later. Two more waves. Let's go for it. Yay! Two more waves. Look at all those groins. You don't want to say that too loud. Dive bomber. We have just left Heysham now. What a beautiful day, those lads on the gangway just there posing for a photo, absolutely hilarious. I've just called those things groins over there and I'm an absolute idiot. It is the water intakes and wastewater from the nuclear power station. It's not nuclear waste. The water does never mix with the nuclear stuff. Just, you know, you need to heat up water and it turns the turbines. Nuclear power is great and we need to invest in it more, but we do have some groins in the distance over there. Groin stops the erosion of the sandy beach. Geography lesson. But yes, there we are. There is Heysham Port. You can see we've just turned basically due south here. Reason being is the shallowness of Morecambe Bay, and also you've got some wind turbines out at sea as well, so we'll have to make our way through them. Right, I think I'm going to go in now, get something to eat. Hopefully my seat hasn't been taken, and then we'll do a tour of the whole ferry after that. Free condiments, man. The good old days. That's all you get. Time for the full tour of the ship. access through those two doors. Doesn't seem to be lift access though, if you need that. There's the ferry tour. I'm going to set out here. I have still got about 2.5 hours to enjoy, which is an absolute treat. It's 3 hours and 45 minutes in length. I hope you can hear me over the rumble of the engines there as well. Just for those who want to know, this was built in 1998, so I am just older than it by like 4 years. And the Manxman came, well, technically was into service in 2023, so that's the difference in age with the ships. This can hold 500 passengers pretty much exactly, or scarily 666 including crew, which I don't like for obvious reasons, whereas the Manxman, I think we're pushing sort of 800, 900, so a huge increase in passenger numbers. In terms of lane meters though, it's a little bit less of an increase. I'll put them on screen, lane meters and gross tonnage. Gross tonnage has nothing to do with the weight, the mass of the ferry, it's more to do with how much space is on board. So gross tonnage is a really sort of good way to compare the size of the ship, like how it feels, how big it is itself. No way, look at that in the distance. Blackpool Tower. I did not expect to see that today. I mean, it makes sense. Obviously we're going sort of south still a little bit and then we curve back up the Isle of Man, but that is quality, man. I absolutely love that, but look how still the Irish Sea is. You've got some platforms out there in the distance. And a glaring but beautiful sun. I mean, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. One more thing to say, not only the Blackpool Tower, is that the big one, the Big Dipper, there on the right as well, Blackpool Pleasure Beach. I must have been there 26 years ago or something when I was a proper little kid, when I was 4. Well, what a lovely afternoon, gorgeous winter sun. It is getting cold, but there's not so much wind. If there was a bit of wind, a bit more wind, it would be very, very chilly. I think it's probably about 5 degrees. You can see sort of where we've come from. Actually, the ship is there around the corner, so you do drop down to avoid the shallow sands of Morecambe Bay as we pass one of the Stena freighters, Stena Scotia, the Stena Hibernia, coming in on its 8-hour passage. That's how long it takes. I would love to go on that. I'm going to try and get on that. It takes 12 passengers. They are going to replace them as well. One is under, I think both are under construction in China. It's going to be the Stena Futura and the Stena Connector, and they are called the Newmax. So that's the type of ferry that they're going to be, the Newmax. The reason being is they have to fit the constraints of Heysham Port, so that dictates the size and how much draft it's got because of the shallowness as well. So they will be on borrowed time. Maybe next time when you're watching this, they might have even been replaced by the new Stena freighters. Maximum zoom. Wow. And it is the Stena Scotia, as you can see there. Shout out to Kia and Emma, who've just subscribed to us. He came up and asked us what I was up to, so thank you so much. You really do get an amazing view of this vast offshore wind farm. I much prefer them out at sea, but I think the steam packets even had to say they're building a new field apparently, and they're saying, well, could it get dangerous if this ferry it'll thread its way through. It needs to have sort of diversionary routes. So yeah, but it's an amazing sight. It's even more impressive in person than it looks on camera. It's amazing. Sunset, absolutely gorgeous, lovely to feel. I can actually feel warmth on my face, unreal. Well, we have arrived in Douglas and there is my chariot for tomorrow, the MV Manxman, which looks even better in person. I'm buzzing to get on that. I am always the last person off. Should have said though, if you've been enjoying this video, I'm really trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Please help me get there. If you've enjoyed this video, click below, subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything at all, just means you keep YouTube shows my videos more for you on your homepage, I think. And also give the video a like, it helps so much more, costs you absolutely nothing. Thank you.
Please proceed to the green stairwell, located on the right hand side to exit the vessel.
Well, that is us disembarked from the Big Ben. That was absolutely fantastic, and I will see you in the morning for our return trip back over to England, back to Heysham, where we'll be on, hopefully, God willing, the MV Manxman. My return journey on the MV Manxman will be in my next video. Please subscribe so you know when that is. And thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.